Hello and welcome to the latest update on HCL Connections. My name is Renee Schimmer. I'm Product Manager for HCL Connections, and I'm going to walk you through the latest updates in HCL Connections 6.5. There are a number of features that we are introducing with 6.5 that are really focused on end user value, how a user can come up to speed faster with connections, how external users can be invited, how I can change transfer ownership of a file, etc., etc. First of all, let me mention that 6.5 is the first release of connections that is now branded under HCL software. In addition to that, of course, we have a couple of key features. So let's go into a bit more detail on each one of those capabilities here. First, let's talk about Invite. Invite is designed to make it easy for your regular end user to send an invitation to external users. Now, granted, this is something that, of course, you want to control a little bit. You may or may not want to allow your end users to do that. But if your organization does allow collaboration with external users, it is now really easy for an end user to send an invite out to an external user. That user will receive an email, follow a link, type in a new password, and start collaborating in those communities that have been marked as available to externals, and look at those files that also have been explicitly set to be available to external users. Next up is the Connections Sidebar. The Connections Sidebar gives you a really quick and easy way to get back into Connections or see updates from the Connections activity stream wherever you are within your intranet. So your IT admin can set up the Connections Sidebar that you see in that screenshot there in its fully extended state if you are on any of the other intranet pages that are not run by Connections. So that is the Connections Sidebar. Next up is Connections Touchpoint. Touchpoint is, you want to call it a wizard maybe, that is presented to users when they log into Connections for the very first time. What this accomplishes is to capture basic information from that user. For example, here they can upload their own picture, they can update their job title, telephone numbers, and they can also accept the terms of use. Employees will have to accept the terms of the intranet or specifically Connections before they start interacting with it. So the user uploads the image, provides the phone number, accepts the terms, and then goes to the next step where they will then select interest. Depending on their job role, they might have particular interests, maybe GDPR, maybe engineering, maybe marketing. Based on those interests, in the next step, Connections will then suggest other people, like we see here, Gerard Matthew Hamilton, but also maybe a community. So Connections proactively recommends people and communities to follow based on the interests the user provided. So all of a sudden, there's much more value for that user in the first time experiencing Connections. So that was Connections Touchpoint. Now let's move on to the next capability. This is transfer file ownership. This allows you to take a file that is your file and actually pass that on to a new owner. This becomes useful if maybe you change roles or you're done with a particular project and you don't really need to own that file anymore. This capability has always been available in Connections behind the scenes through the API for the admin, but it was never something that an end user was allowed to do. So we added this now, and you can see that where you can click on the three dots and then you see transfer ownership. In the next step, you type in the name, and once that's done, the new owner will receive a notification, and that file will then show up in that person's My File view. Next up, Activities Plus. Activities Plus is a fresh look at Connections activities. Activities in Connections are used often in the context of a community where you get people together to work on a particular project and tasks are assigned to individual people. In partnership with our partner ISW, we are now including a light version of Kudos boards with every Connections 6.5 installation. And through that, you'll see that Activities now has a much more user-friendly look and feel, more vibrant colors and more capabilities where you can drag and drop tasks, you can color code and label tasks, and simply provide your end users with a better experience for activities within HCL Connections. Now let's spend a moment and talk about mobile. In addition to a number of non-functional requirements or platform items, we added a number of end-user focused features. Touchpoint and Invite, the two features that I just talked about, are also available in the mobile client. The sidebar is not, because in the mobile client that doesn't really make much sense. We added some updates to the community catalog. I'll show you that. But then we can also, for the first time now, actually create communities from the mobile device. So here we are on a tablet, in this case an iPad, and in the background you see the community catalog page, and you can easily there say create new community, provide the name, the description, what type of access you want to define. So is this going to be a public community, a moderated or restricted one? And then the community will be created. So let's move on to the community catalog page, which is the overview page for your communities that you signed up for, that you're a member of, an owner of, etc. We made a few updates here for the mobile client as well, where you can extend the cards, like you see on example 3. You see the description, what people are in those communities, etc. But you can also, what you see under number 2, now see the communities that you've been invited to. And under number 1, I'm going backwards here, you can open up a filter to further filter the results and narrow it down a little bit so you only find the community that you're currently looking for. 2 more things that I want to talk about. The link preview is a great way to share a status update. And in your status update, or the microblog, however you want to call it, you can enter a URL, and then a preview of that website will be inserted into your status update. And if the website supports it, you can actually select from different previews that the website provides. Last but not least, we added the capability to share from anywhere within your mobile device, from any application, something with connections. So if you are on your mobile device and say you are in the browser, you see something that you like, you use the operating system's share button, and now HCL Connections is one of the applications showing up in that dialog, so you can easily share whatever you're looking at right now with connections. With this, we have reached the end of the presentation on what's new in HCL Connections 6.5. I want to thank you for your time, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.